going to a high-end buffet. You got shrimp, you got other types of meat, you got pasta, rice, veggies, fruit, but like the good quality. You know what I mean? That's how I felt like October was.
I agree.
Fresh artists.
I agree. We had like a wide array of everything, and like they were all so great, all so different, and all so memorable, which is, I think, the key to this.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to another round of Fresh Artist Rewind, brought to you by Hip Hop Scriptures. I'm Chi Chi, founder of Hip Hop Scriptures.
And I'm Priscilla, and I run the Fresh Artist Friday feature on our blog.
And if you are just subscribed recently, thank you so much. And to everyone who's been rocking with us for a while, we got quite a few artists to cover. We're looking back at all the artists that were featured in the month of October. And you never know from month to month how many, but this month we have 5 very, very awesome, talented artists, but all very different as well. Definitely. Yeah, it looks like we got more artists this time around from the West Coast than we normally do. So that's fun. But let's get started. The first artist that we featured in October is Meez. He's from the Bay Area.
That's where I'm from. I was like, yay, finally some Bay Area representation in our series. I love it.
Absolutely. His single is Huh. It's literally called Huh. I guess I'll start. I added his song to my playlist, that infamous playlist where you just add tracks that you listen to. Even before he started rapping, the beat just kind of drew me in. I was like, you knew something was coming. So shout out, I don't know if Meez is the producer or if he has a producer that did the beat or the track, but like shout out to them. And then it's like, I know the fresh artists typically are at different points and stages throughout their career, but I watched the video also. So I listened to it and I watched the video. So either way, he comes in rapping and he has so much confidence and so much energy. And it's not like, you know, he's trying to fake it. It's just like, oh, whoa, okay, this guy's like for real. He just doesn't seem like somebody that, you know, everyone should know about is what I thought. And in the video, I'm like, there's no way that the people in the video are like extras. Like these have to be like his friends because everybody in the video has so much energy and you could just tell that they love being there. And it was just great all around to see the palm trees and sun. So I really enjoyed it. And he was an absolute pleasure to work with as well, which I always like to highlight.
You hit literally everything I was gonna say. What first drew me into this track was his confidence, like the fact that it was called Huh, as in people dared to question him. And like you said that, you know, this is a Fresh Artist Friday series. A lot of these are smaller artists, but just because you're a small artist doesn't mean you shouldn't have confidence in your craft. And I think he's like the epitome of that. Also going back to the Bay Area roots, he says he's worked with major artists like Sage the Gemini and E40, who were like big artists that I grew up listening to. And I'm sure if you're from the Bay Area, you're familiar with as well. And again, what you said with the video, like I love seeing pieces of my home in the music. And it's so cool to be able to relate to that with this artist. Yeah, I have nothing else to add. You literally hit like every point I was gonna say with Meez. And again, I want to reiterate, he was awesome to work with, responded super quickly, and like great artist all around. And I can't wait to see what he comes out with in the future. I will definitely be following him.
Yeah, I mean, and for anybody who, you know, listens and watches this and you kind of go back to check out some of the folks we're talking about, the lyrics, as well as the beat and just the vibe and the visuals, like I actually wrote down one of my favorite lyrics. He says, "This cloth that I'm cut from ain't no more of that." I was like, yes, like I need to work out more than I do, but that's definitely a song you want to listen to when you're like running or on the treadmill or lifting weights. Like it's got just a lot of great energy. So
it gives you confidence listening through it. Like his energy, you can feel the energy through the song 100%.
That's so true. Yeah. So shout out to Meez. I don't know. Okay, guys. So this next artist is actually a collective. And if you look them up on Spotify or any streaming like I did, you have to type in numbers. Although the way you write the name of the group is 81355, it is actually pronounced Bless. Made up of Sirius Black, Oreo Jones, I hope I say this name right, Sedcairn Archives. Sorry if I didn't pronounce it right. They're from Indianapolis. I think they're our first from Indianapolis.
I think they are too. Yeah.
Anyone else hailing from Indianapolis? So the name of the album is This Time I'll Be of Use. And the song that we featured on our Fresh Artist Friday video is called Capstone. A lot of great songs on the album. That one was definitely a standout. Sure. I was trying to like list all the different influences I heard. Why don't you go first? And then I'll talk about all the influences I heard throughout this album.
Okay, for me, what stood out was the visuals associated with Capstone. I thought they were so creative. And them as a collective, I thought was cool because we originally heard about them as individual artists. We had heard it from Sirius Black and we had heard from Oreo Jones, and we reached out to them as individuals, and they actually came back. They were like, oh, hey, we have this collective project that we really want you to check out. And we loved it, obviously. But I thought it was cool that in the visuals, they all have their moment to shine. Throughout the album, they all have their moment to shine. And even though they're under the collective name of Bless, I feel like once you hear all the songs in this piece of work, and if you listen to them individually, you'll hear them individually in this song and in the whole album. I thought it was great because I think it's hard to build a group where everyone has a chance to shine. And I thought they killed it. Again, going back to the visuals, they killed it there too.
Absolutely. I'm glad I let you go first because my ear just automatically goes to who do I hear as an influence. So first of all, I want to say they do have their own unique sound. Just want to make that absolutely clear. That's just the way my mind works when I'm listening to artists who are, especially artists who are not like your typical hip hop group, and they are not. There's a lot of different sounds going on. So the influences I heard were Kid Cudi, Tribe Called Quest, and Kendrick Lamar. So I really, really, really like the song Anointed because it literally sounds spiritual. And when I say it sounds spiritual, I'm talking about the melody, the beat, but then the rhyme that comes in, it's like authentic. So I feel like I'm going on this spiritual journey, and then I feel like my homie's with me and he's like spitting some stuff that I'm like, yeah, I can relate to that. I can totally relate to that. And the fact that it's called Anointed, it's like the perfect title for this track. So the song that I felt like I heard K-Dot was, I don't know what number track it is on the album, but it's called The Void. And you probably, you know, if you're watching, you're probably like, well, the title kind of sounds like something K-Dot would call it as well. But when you listen, at least when I listen to that, if you disagree, let me know in the comments. I definitely hear a Kendrick Lamar influence. I was a little confused by the song Purple. I didn't know what to make of that track.
I kind of felt the same way, actually. Yeah.
I was like, okay, because the song before it and the song after it, I don't know. It was, again, a pleasure to listen to the whole album. That song I was just like, question mark, like, I don't know what to make of that. And then towards the end of the album, there's a song called Through a Portal. So you should definitely see a theme here. If you love or hate Yeezus, that album, doesn't matter. That song sound like it could have been on the Yeezus album.
I hear it.
Yeah, I was like, argue with me, I don't care. It sounds like a throwaway, not in a bad way, but like this should have been on Yeezus and we decided not to use it, so now it's on this album. So definitely a journey. It's always fun when we get albums because most of the submissions are singles, and then like you said, this is a collective, and it wasn't originally, something we were aware of. You had reached out to them individually, and they were like, yo, we have this album that we did together. So really interesting. And then, I'm originally from the Midwest, so it's always interesting to hear what's going on with indie artists from the Midwest. So, I mean, overall, I'm glad we got to feature them, and I'm definitely looking forward to see if they continue, because sometimes people do stuff. We've seen a lot of that with the artists that we've covered in mainstream hip hop, where it's like, oh yeah, they did this album and they never did one again. I'm looking at you, Nas and AG and Foxy Brown. So we'll see if they just kind of go on their own trajectory, but this was a dope collaboration overall.
I also want to highlight the fact that you focused on the sounds you heard, the inspiration you thought they pulled from. Oreo Jones in his bio talked about how he loves to take the culture from old hip hop and turn it into something new. That's something that he actively focuses on in his music. So I think it's cool that you were able to pick up on that without even necessarily reading that. It shines through in its work. It stands by itself.
Absolutely. And like I said, all 5 artists are very different from each other. So the next artist is called the MAAP with 2 A's. He hails from Cali. Okay, I'm gonna be that auntie in the room for a second, because when I first heard his song, it's called To the Moon, the number 2. I was like, oh, this is cute. Like with a lot of U's in it. I'm like, this is so cute. I was just like instantly smiling when I hear him inviting me to come to the moon with him. But then it gets a little spicy, in a good way with the lyrics. I'm like, oh, okay. And I love the fact that he's so inventive. He has this, he calls his own genre, I guess, called bedrock pop. I don't know if you know exactly what that is, but it's like bedrock pop. Like, okay, I'm instantly intrigued. And the fact that you took the time to name your own subgenre of music, that's pretty dope. And the fact that he does have such an interesting story, which Priscilla will delve into on another video. So stay tuned for that.
Interview coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. He's young, he's a young artist, but he already has like this backstory, like, oh, I had my first turntable when I was 13. And, he's highly influenced by Lil Wayne, which I can actually hear. He doesn't sound like Lil Wayne by any stretch, but you can hear the Lil Wayne influence, and how I adore Lil Wayne. So it was really fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of you, like digging deeper into his story.
Yeah. What stood out to me was that he was like the baby of the month. He's like the freshman artist. And I think that shows in his sound as well. It's like you said, every artist we have this month is unique in their own right, and they all sound very different. But there is something so youthful and like fresh about this particular song. You can tell it's like a new artist creating this. And again, speaking to the whole bedrock pop name that he labeled it, I think that's cool that he has the confidence to name his own sound. It is an out of the box kind of song. It doesn't sound like any just genre that kind of exists. And to have the confidence and to hone in on your sound and what you want to build off of that, I think is really cool to come from such a beginner artist, because he's just getting started from what I believe. He's been making music since he was 13 with his turntables that you mentioned earlier. But this is one of his like first works that he's put out as the MAAP. So hopefully we'll hear more. Stay tuned for more info on the MAAP and our interview coming soon.
Yes. I'm gonna let you, I know we were both excited, but I feel like you were really excited about this next artist, and I have some interesting commentary as well. And it's always nice, I mean, we are girls, it's nice to get a lady that we can feature for Fresh Artist Friday. So our next artist is Cherokee, and she's from North Hollywood.
I loved this song. Like the moment I heard this song, I became obsessed with it. First, what got me was her voice. It sounds so incredibly raw, and like you have to listen to it. You can't put the song on in the background and like just do your thing. It will bring you back in. Her honesty in the lyrics, the song in general is very honest. It's called Skeletons. She's talking about how there's skeletons in her closet. She has a past, but like there's more to her than that. And she hopes, like the lines that skeletons in my closet, and when they come out, I hope you still love me the way you do. Like, you know, I just love the honesty of it. This song gets stuck in my head every single time I hear it. I think she absolutely killed it. And again, she lists inspirations, The Lady of Rage, Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest. These were all people that she listed as influences. And I hear it. I hear the influence in her music, and the strength of her music, the strength of her voice, and again, the honesty of her work.
Yeah, you hit everything that I wanted to say. The only thing to add is we featured the song Skeletons a little bit before the official visuals came out. So the visuals dropped on her YouTube channel November 5th, so just a few days ago. And I just felt like so many people connected to it. She had great engagement on a post that we made on all platforms. And with where we are with cancel culture, I think it's extremely timely. And the fact that, you know, she delivered every bar the way it was supposed to, like you felt every bar, but she also can sing. So that's always nice when you have someone who can rap and sing. And I feel like you're starting to see more of those artists. I did check out the official video, and she's beautiful. Like, she's this beautiful, confident woman. And she even has some animation in the video, which is really cool. So I definitely encourage everyone to check out. Maybe we'll put the link in here so everyone can just go straight to it, actually, now that I'm saying that out loud. And she even has part of the animation. I mean, the song's called Skeletons, right? So she actually has some like animated skeletons in the visual. So I just feel like she's definitely an obvious like rising star. Like, she has all the qualities that you would want, not just in a hip hop artist, but in a female hip hop artist. So sure. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And yeah, I stole another line. I think it was the one you were talking about when I can't say the word because I don't want us to get dinged, but she's like, when they dig those MFers up, meaning her skeletons, I hope you still love me the way you do. But she sings it. I'm not going to sing it, but that's the line. So I thoroughly enjoyed featuring her, and another person that, you know, we interacted with after we posted, and, you know, we're in the DMs, and just like a beautiful, beautiful energy around her.
Definitely great to work with as well.
Yep. Last but certainly not least, I don't even know. Oh my goodness. So there's always those submissions that stand out, and then the person behind the submissions stands out for different reasons. And the last person we featured in the month of October is the artist R.I.P. Lux. Very mysterious, has no social media, so we could not tag him. The entire Hip Hop Scriptures team unanimously felt like the song was great, but, you know, the production was awesome, but we couldn't tag him. But he has interacted with us.
He has a lot, actually.
Like Batman or something, but he's Eastern European, right?
Yes, he's from Eastern Europe. I'm not sure where, but he's from Eastern Europe. Like you were saying earlier, super communicative, but he's not a very public person. But I feel like he has a very public message, if that makes sense. Like, he's the person behind the mask. He's like the man behind the curtain or whatever, giving out knowledge that needs to be shared. We featured his song Masquerade. It's a really heavy song to listen to lyrically. I feel like every lyric, there's something to learn from it. And there's like a point to say with every single lyric he writes. But it's a really hard-hitting song. And I think it adds to it when you don't know who's saying it. Like, it's almost like a universal message. There's no like person to stand behind it. It is just thought for everyone to consume. What did you think?
As you were talking, I had a thought. Remember all those anonymous
oh gosh.
I'm not saying that he's anonymous or affiliated with them at all. Disclaimer. I'm just saying, if you took Anonymous and like merged it with Wu-Tang, that would be R.I.P. Lux.
That's a great analogy. Wow.
Very potent social commentary, strong flow, like I said, strong production. I'm sorry, I definitely hear Wu-Tang influence. Like,
Definitely.
you know, I love Wu-Tang. I brush my teeth to Wu-Tang. I love Wu-Tang. However, I do feel like, you know, obviously if you look at the video, he's he's showing a lot of different footage. I think it starts with footage from one of the Met Galas or something like that. There's commercials. So on one hand, like you said, there's like this social commentary. And at first you think he's just taking aim at celebrities, but then you see he's also taking aim at influencers. And then it's like, oh, I think he's taking aim at himself and us collectively. As you know, we all are guilty of this consumerism society that we are part of. And even the performance. So for me personally, I don't know, you guys let me know what you think. I felt like I watched the video like way too many times to count. I'm embarrassed to say how many times I watched the video. So I will say for me personally, it kind of made me reflect. Not that I don't reflect on this stuff anyway, because we're performing. We're performing right now. We're performing on our social media. Hopefully we're not performing too much in our relationships, but it kind of makes you just go, what's the line? Like, what's my line? What's the line that I'm not going to cross when it comes to being a real person and performing, right? You have to perform at your job. You have to perform, you know, you talk to your parents. But I think it just really makes you, if you're not already an introspective person, it really makes you kind of look at yourself and your behavior. And he did a great job. It sounds like, you know, fingers crossed, guys, we may have a collaboration coming up with RIP Lux, the mysterious RIP Lux. So if that happens, we'll definitely post it here. But this is like going to a high-end buffet. You got shrimp, you got other types of meat, you got pasta, rice, veggies, fruit, but like the good quality. You know what I mean? That's how I felt like October was.
I agree.
Fresh artists.
I agree. We had like a wide array of everything, and like they were all so great, all so different, and all so memorable, which is I think the key to this. When you have so many artists, sometimes it's like, oh man, I don't remember what that one was, or I don't really remember the music video or whatnot. Like I barely had to re-listen to them. I remembered them so immediately.
So
here's the hard part, always picking our favorite. Do you want to go first or should I go first?
I'll go first this time. Oh my God. So I'll start and then I'll get to the end of my journey. So my top three are Ice Meez, Cherokee, and RIP Lux.
Wow, and me too.
all three are so incredibly different. Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna work my way backwards from who we featured last. Well, no, I'll just work my way backwards. So Cherokee, like I said, you know, there's this video, I don't know if it's a video interview or a written interview or both, but there's this great interview from Jay-Z where he talks about when he first met Rihanna, when she first walked into the office and she hadn't said a word yet. She hadn't sang a note. So just walking in, and I saw a video on YouTube recently about this too. Certain people just have that star quality and you're just like, I don't know who they are, what they do, but they are a star. And so that is Cherokee. So we're all rooting for you, not that you need it, and looking to see where your journey takes you. And then RIP Lux. I had the pleasure, 2 years ago, maybe. This is 2021. So yeah, a couple years ago of meeting someone who had a similar vibe as far as no one knew what she looked like and you couldn't see her mask. And just the sweetest person ever. And that's what I picture RIP Lux is like. So again, looking forward to the collab if it happens. Want to keep watching you. But if I have to pick one out of the five, I'm gonna go with Ice Meez. Honestly, I'm fangirling. Like he blew me away in every way that an artist can blow you away. He blew me away. And so that's my pick for October.
Yeah, I agree with your top 3 100% and how you broke down what stands out about each of them. For me, I'm gonna have to pick Cherokee purely because that song had such a hold on me for like the full week that I was preparing to write about her. And then afterwards, I was on a road trip that weekend. And I must have played this song like 6 times in the car, and people were like, oh my God, like, can you change it at this point? But I was so obsessed with it. I feel like every line is an Instagram caption. It could be.
Yeah.
I feel like every line had power behind it and honesty behind it. And her voice just, it got me. Like you said, she can rap and she can sing, and she does them both so well. That song had a hold on me, and I cannot wait to hear more from her. She has to be my artist. And again, like you said, there's something about her that just radiates like star energy. She's gonna go so far. She just has that quality about her. And I actually went like on a deep dive on her website to get pictures for the blog.
Yeah.
And yeah, every photo, I'm like, this is a great photo. Like this could be your profile photo. Everything about her was just so awesome. She's definitely my pick for the month.
Awesome. I love when we agree and I love when we disagree. This is
yeah, because at the end of the day, every artist we feature is incredible. Like they wouldn't be on the blog if they weren't awesome. It's just personal preference.
Yes. Well, shout out to everyone.
Mhm.
Special shout out to Cherokee and Meez because you were our top picks. And let's see, what do we want to? I don't know if I want to give too much away. I will say this: there's a lot cooking. We hinted at some of the stuff that's cooking, but we have a legendary interview coming on our YouTube channel. And thank you for everyone who's been supporting us. We've been growing by leaps and bounds, so we're extremely thankful for that. So just look out for that is all I'm going to say. And anything else we want to say before we sign off?
Once again, please check out the artists from this month and the next month and forever, because they're all incredible. And we hope you enjoy their music just as much as we did, because they kill it every time.
Yes. And although we do, we do the little short, the short video featuring the fresh artists. Priscilla has made a fresh artist playlist. So you can check that on our YouTube. We can actually listen to the songs featured in their entirety from the artists themselves. So definitely check that out too. But as always, it's been a pleasure, and make sure that you're following us on Instagram, following the blog, and we will see you on the next video. Take care.